Good morning, students. Now I have already since explained you about the process of management, the different concepts related to the efficiency, effectiveness, organization, resources, etc. So our today's topic will be the characteristics of management. Now, what is exactly mean by the term characteristics? Characteristics basically it indicates some attributes or qualities which are necessary or which actually helps in identifying an object or an entity. Now, I just give an example. For example, you want to identify a person. What you are going to say in that way? If I ask you or if I tell you about a girl, then to identify that particular person, you will be highlighting the different attributes or the qualities. For example, she is a girl, she lives in a place, she is very good in studies, she is very well behaved, her height is this much. Like different, tangible and intangible attributes we are going to focus on. Then it helps. The more attributes you highlight, the better identification of that entity or an object is possible. So here when we learn about management, to know more about the concept, it's needed that you need to understand the different aspects of its nature. That means the characteristics or the attributes. So the first characteristics we would like to talk about here, characteristic of management, is it's a goal-oriented method. First of all, what management is all about? Is it a person? Is it an organization? No. It's basically a process. Management is a process, a system to run an organization, to handle the resources. So then we can uh, say that this is a process, rather a method which are which is required to handle resources effectively and efficiently. So here it is, we talk this way. An establishment has predefined set of fundamental goals which are the primary basis for its being. That means any organization, when it is formed, each organization is established with certain objectives, okay, with certain targets which it aspires to achieve, some missions, some long-term goals which is called visions, like that. So to achieve these objectives, to achieve these goals, the organization has to frame different strategies, plans, and it has to work in a particular way which will guide the organization towards the achievement or the success. So this particular way which the organization follows actually comes under the process of management. So here it is written that since each organization is driven by a specific goal, that is why the organizational objectives are basically the guidelines according to which the management uh, process is formed or it is delivered. So this must be easy and explicitly mentioned. Different establishments have various goals. For instance, the aim of a retail market may be to improve sales, but the purpose of the Spastic Society of India is to allow education to children with specific requirement. For example, the objective, the goal of your institute, your school, is to provide, to impart education, value education, physical education, and to bring a holistic development for a student. So that is the objective of our school. Similarly, the objective of a bank, that you all are learning about banking, and you know that the objective is to deliver banking services to the customers and to earn profit in the form of higher rate of interest, that is charge on loans, and bank provides a less amount of interest on deposits, and the difference is the income, the profit. So a business organization, it aspires to earn profit, and a non-business entity, it aspires to deliver services to the people or to the community. Rather, they work for community development. So these are the different objectives. So each the objective is a guiding force for management. So management is a goal oriented process, is a goal directed process. It moves towards a specific goal. If there is no goal, there is no need to manage. You can go on working in any way that you want. Okay, but if you have a goal that you have to achieve, okay, that deadline you have to fulfill, then definitely you have to have some kind of system in your working, and that is called management. The second characteristics of management is all common, or rather we can say it is all pervasive. Pervasiveness indicates universality. So management is a system. I told you in my the class that I took at the very beginning, that any organization, be it a profit, non-profit, charitable, or any organization, wherever, even your home also, it's an organization because it comprises of resources. So wherever there are resources, you need to have management to have an effective dealing with the resources. So that's why we can say management is applicable all over the world. Okay, it has a global application, universal application, and at all levels in an organization, at all the layers in the organization, top, middle, lower. These are the three managerial levels. Wherever there are people working, supervising somebody who is working at the lower level, then these people are called managers. They may be working at the lower level management, middle level, or the top level. They have to practice management in dealing with their people and dealing with the resources. So management is all pervasive, applicable everywhere in all type of organization and also in all levels. The third characteristic is management is perpetual and a continuous process. The method of management is a set of continuous, consecutive, composite, but distinct purposes, like different functions of management, which starts with planning, then organizing. First, there should be planning, followed by organizing, then staffing, directing, controlling, like that. Okay, this is the sequence. You will be learning about the functions of management, starting from planning and ending with controlling, and again it comes back to planning again. We'll discuss about that later on. So these operations or functions, they are actually concurrently executed by all the managers, continuous. There is a flow of operations in the organization. Whenever an objective is decided, without an objective, no organization can form. So after deciding the objective, proper planning is needed, that how to achieve those objectives. Directly you just cannot go on executing that. First you have to think. First it has to be a mental process, then it has to be brought into practice. So first you have to have a thought, have a blueprint in your mind, that what you are exactly going to do, what are the resources you will be needing. Then accordingly you can start working. So the initial process after setting an objective is to have a plan. Okay, so planning is the first function of management. From the planning stage itself, management starts. After planning, there is organizing. You have to organize the resources. You have to prepare the different jobs, the departments where the people will be working, like this. You'll know in detail about that, and this way it will continue. So this processes which constitute management, rather we can say these are the sub processes involved in the process of management. These are continuous and perpetual in nature. They go on one after another, go on being repeated one after the another. The third the next characteristics of management is management is an intangible energy. Now management cannot be a person, it cannot be a thing. That means it cannot you cannot see or you cannot touch management. It doesn't have a physical form or a shape, right? So it is an intangible, something which is not visible, but it can be felt. Like there are people, all other delegates, or maybe the dignitaries, whoever have entered our school premises on different occasions, gracing the events and all. Everybody has got a common opinion that it has been a marvelous experience being here. The ambience, the behavior of the students, everything is so very disciplined. The school has been very well managed. Before any event, our sisters, our superiors, they call us, they tell us in what way we should sit, how we should behave. We have an entire practice session before the final execution program. So this entire thing, the process that goes on in our school, makes the entire event successful, well disciplined, and well mannered. So there is a management. People can see it has been very well managed. This you cannot see, you cannot touch, because it doesn't have a physical form or a shape, but you can feel it. The difference you will find whenever you visit some other organization post visiting our school. Okay, that we have to be proud of really. Then the next characteristic is management is multidimensional. Multi means more than two. Okay, single, it is indicated by the word unit, unidimensional, bidimensional. Bi means two. So when it is more than two, you can talk about tridimensional also or quadridimensional also, but normally we use the term multidimensional. So dimension means sides. Management has got normally three sides. We can say 3D, right? One is management of work, management of people, and management by operations or management of operations. That means managing work, what work people are going to do, defining the jobs, okay, assigning duties, responsibilities, everything will be considered under management of work. Management of people, you all know, whenever a supervisor manages, instructs, guides, trains, motivates the subordinates, it comes under the management of people. Management of operation or management by operations is basically having proper guidance or supervision on the particular works or the jobs, discharging the duties and responsibilities in a way of doing the jobs by the people, by the subordinates. And these are to be continuously monitored, reviewed, and supervised by the supervisors. So these are the basically three dimensions. Now these all are interlinked with each other. If there are no people, there cannot be any operation. If there is no operation, there cannot be work. Work and operations are related. So these are the three dimensions of management or multidimensional process management is. The next one is management is a group activity. Of course, if a single person works all alone without any resource, there is no need to manage. Whom you will manage? The resources, or rather we can say the material resources, cannot work by themselves. You have to assign some people, some human element to it who can function with this non-human elements. So that's why management of people is the most essential thing the managers have to deal with. So management is a group activity means whenever a manager works in a team, leading a team of people, supervising a team of people, we can say they're basically guiding the people, getting the works done through the people. So management is a group activity, it's a team effort. Next characteristic or feature is management is a dynamic function. Dynamic means what? Dynamism refers to the quality of being adapted or quality of the adaptability. Okay, adapted to the changes of the situational requirements. Now management is a dynamic function. It means organization work in the ever-changing environment that we know. Change is the only constant in today's world. Everything is changing in the external environment, and accordingly we have to mold the internal environment as per the changes going on in the external environment. A very simple example I'll give right now. After the outbreak of this pandemic, COVID-19, when India got affected, you can see all the students of class 11, you did not have to appear for your final board exam of class 11. The examination was cancelled. I think this has happened for the first time. Directly you all are promoted to the class 12. Okay, why this decision was taken by the council? Because they have to respond to the changing environmental needs. They cannot delay the class 12 session to start anymore. So rather they decided to cancel the class 11 board exams and directly promote the students, and we can start. For example, our organization, our school, they have given the instruction, all the organized universities, institutions, they are having these online sessions. Earlier we used to have offline classes. Now we are taking these online classes. Why? Because this is a response we are giving as per the need of the changing environmental needs. When the environment gives a positive signal, we can again resume with our normal manual classes. So internally we have to change. An organization has to change its systems, its strategies, its planning in order to adapt to the changing external environmental needs, because external environment is not in our control. We can just have our systems in tune with the changes of the external environment. We cannot change the external environment. We can change only the internal one. That's why we say we have to be dynamic. Okay, so the management which is driving an organization to function must also be dynamic, changeable. It cannot be rigid. So organizations work in ever-changing environment and need to respond to the environmental stimuli and the signals. So management needs to be dynamic, flexible. Anytime it should be able to change. Flexibility has to be there, or adaptable to the changing environment. The next characteristic, these are only, see, very easy. We are already done with all the characteristics of the of management. These characteristics are also known as attributes, feature, or if the question comes at right about the nature of management, your answer will be the same. In whatever way the question is asked, your answer is going to be the same. Okay, first one, it's a goal-oriented process. It's a process which is directed towards a goal. Second, it is all-pervasive, applicable everywhere, at every level, at all organizations all over the world. Third one, it's multidimensional, management of work, management of operations, and management of people. Fourth one, it's a perpetual or a continuous process. It never stops. As long as the organization sustains, as long as the organization will work, as long as the objectives are there, to achieve the objectives, you have to continuously have management. Then it's a group activity to get the work done by the group of people or a team. Then it's a dynamic function. It is changeable, adaptable, moldable as per the environmental stimuli, environmental signals and situations. And lastly, it is an intangible force or intangible energy. Energy means some force that makes something move, right? So management is a force that make the organization proceed, make the organization work, move. I told you it's like a software that makes the hardware work. So if the organization is the hardware, to make the hardware work, you have to apply the software, and the software is nothing but the management. So it's a process, it's a force, it's the energy that pushes an organization to move towards the success by ensuring effectiveness and efficiency in its work, so that it can continuously proceed towards the achievement of its predefined goals and objectives. I guess that today's session was effective. If you have any doubt, you can anytime get back to me. Study well. God bless. Thank you.